Today on Epic Game World, I'm going to be showing you how to install Crazycraft 4 server and the launcher. Crazycraft 4 is a mod pack. It has over 90 different mods that bring you new mobs, new weapons, and tons of new items to Minecraft. In using the server, you're going to be able to connect in your household to play local multiplayer. You'll also be able to connect with your friends down the street or even across the world. So let's go ahead and get into this, and I will show you how to set it up. First thing you have to do is go over to the official Crazycraft 4 website, and we're going to be downloading the server pack, and we're going to be downloading the launcher. So just bear in mind, when you click download the server pack, you have to pretty much wait until it's done downloading before you can click download the launcher, or else the page just won't open. We'll go ahead and try it now. See, it's just loading up there in the top. It's just not opening. So we'll give it a sec. And that page will eventually open here, so we can go ahead and download the launcher as well. Okay, here we go. Now, for the launcher to work, you do have to have 64-bit Java, and they're recommending Java 8. And if you don't already have that, you will go right here to this link. You'll be able to download it and install it. And if you don't know how to do that, this video right here will show you exactly how to do it. It steps you right through it. So for now, we're just going to go ahead and download it for Windows. Okay, now we have them both already here. Crazycraft 4 server, we'll just go ahead and extract that. And we'll extract the Void launcher. Okay, so now that we have both of those extracted, we can go ahead and go into the Crazycraft server, and in order to start the server, we just double click Start Server. Now keep in mind, this does take a while, so you have to be patient, and it will also open up these two windows. And now you are going to get this Windows firewall pop-up. You have to say allow access. This allows it to be able to go through the firewall in order for people that are outside to be able to connect to your local server. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and let this run. And once it's done, we'll come back for the next step in the process. Okay, so now that this is just about done, we're going to go on to the next step. We have to go ahead and select this server properties file. You have to right click on it, choose open with, take off this checkbox, and choose notepad. Okay, inside of here we're going to notice a lot of different things, a lot of different options. The main thing we're worried about inside of here, concerned with I should say, is the server IP address. And the server IP address is going to be the IP address of the computer that's hosting the server. The way you're going to get this, you're going to go down here, type in cmd, open up your command prompt. You're going to type in ipconfig/all. Scroll up, and you get your address of the computer right here. So this is my computer IP address. Press Control C to copy that. We'll bring it right in here. Press Control V, paste in the IP address. Okay, so you're going to put yours there. Now a few other things you might want to do here that I also did is I actually allowed flight. So if you want to be able to fly in the game, you want to change that to true. Also, if you go down a little bit further, PvP, if you don't want to hurt your friends when you're out there chopping a creeper, you might want to change that to false. And then last but not least in here, maximum players. This does take a toll on your computer if you have too many players trying to come into your server at once. So you could change that. I'll change that on mine to about 6. There's plenty for mine. And we can go ahead and save that file. Okay. And we can go ahead and you can leave this open if you want to be able to have this address, because you will need it again I'll go over that just in a minute. So we'll leave that up for right this second. Now it looks like the server is done loading, so we'll go on to the next part. Alright, so the next part, we're going to go ahead and do the port forwarding, and this allows your computer to be able to connect out from the internet, so any one of your friends outside of your house will be able to get connected to your server. So you're going to go to your router page, local router page, and you log in. Now, a lot of routers, there'll be 192.168.1.1 or 192.168.10.1. You have to figure out what yours is and log into it. Okay, then we're going to go over to security and apps and gaming, single port forwarding. If you notice down here on the bottom, you can add a new single port forward. So you could, I already have one here set up. You can name it whatever you want, and just make sure you use this port. So you're going to type in the port 25565 in both of these boxes, the name of your server here, choose both, and then you're going to enter the IP address that we just got a moment ago from the command prompt in ipconfig. So like mine would be 192.168.10.166, and that's where I would put it. However, I already have a different server set up, so I'm not going to be putting that in right now, and I don't really need it for my purposes. So we'll just cancel that. But for yours, you'd make sure it was checked, and you would go ahead and save it, and you would click apply. Okay, so now the next thing you're going to do, that now that your port is forwarding, you need to find out what your external IP address is. So what you do is you go into Google and you type in what's my IP address, and Google will tell you. So this is my external IP address for the purpose of this video. It's not actually my real address, but for the purpose of this video and for your purpose, you would type this into Google, you get your external IP address, and you would copy this address along with the port that we just got, 25565, and you would paste it. You put it all together, so you type in it's your IP address, external IP address, a colon, the port, and this would be the address that you would give to your friends that are outside of your network in order for them to connect to your server. Okay, so now that we have all of that set up, we're going to be going back to configuring the next step, and then we'll come back to that once the Void Launcher is actually up and running. So we'll double click here on the Void Launcher and we'll go ahead and get that running. Okay, so now once you get into Void Launcher, there's a couple of things, or actually I'm not going to go ahead and update that for now, so just say no. A couple of things you want to do here, you're going to click on Options. This is where you would allocate your RAM for your Void Launcher. So because there are a lot of mod packs, you probably want to have a good amount of RAM. 4 gigabytes is probably good enough, but if you have good RAM on your computer, I'd probably just go to 7 just to be safe. And here, the mod pack installation directory, you can leave that default. It goes to your default Minecraft roaming directory, but for my purposes, I've set it to a different directory just so it's easier for me to deal with it. And once I'm done here with the video. And over here on the left, you'll see Crazy Craft. Now, a lot of times these icons on the left, they don't pop up right away. So you'll have to open up Void Launcher once, close it, open it again, and then they will populate, just so you know that. Okay, so for right now, we're going to go ahead and click on play. This is going to get the launcher going. And you can see it there running in the background. And this is my folder where everything's going to be getting installed to. Okay, so this is where everything's going to. Minecraft, Crazy Craft 4, and it's going to start loading everything into that folder. So now one other thing I do want to mention, I'm going to go back to the Crazy Craft 4 server, is there is a mod on here that they have, and it's called Recipe Scramble. And what that does is scrambles your recipes, I guess either to make it more fun or more challenging. A lot of people might not like that. So if you don't want your recipes to be scrambled, you'll go into your world folder, go down to the bottom, and you're going to see a settings.dat file. You'll right click on it, you open it, Notepad, and you will just go ahead and change this false to true. So always default recipes is true, and then you just go ahead and save that, and that's it, and that's done. And so you don't have to worry about the recipe scrambling up your recipes if that's not something that you want. Okay, so now that we have that done, we're just waiting for the launcher to finish loading all the files, and it's still loading. Okay, now one other thing while that is loading, I do have a couple of extras here that I like to use. Grab this resource packs folder, copy that, and we're going to go ahead and put that into the Crazy Craft 4 directory. Now the resource packs I'm just adding here, there's two of them. There's one called Dragon Dance. This actually changes the look of Minecraft. I really like this resource pack for Crazy Craft 4. It just does a lot for it. It makes it really cool. So I do recommend that. And I will leave a link in the description to this resource pack. Another thing is this Ultra Music Records resource pack you see here. What this does, it allows you to make custom records for Minecraft to play in the record player. And I will also put a link to a video that shows you exactly how to do this. Just keep in mind that if you do this in your Minecraft, don't use any copyright music, because you will get hit with copyright claims on YouTube. You want to use royalty-free music, and it's still very cool because there's a ton of good royalty-free music out there that you can use. So anyhow, we're still just waiting for this to download everything that it needs. It does take quite some time. So we'll be patient, we'll just wait for this, and once this is done, we'll continue on with the next step. Now just so you know, don't worry if this says not responding up here. It is kind of intense on the computer, intensive. So just go ahead and let it just keep going. It will eventually complete, and it does take a few minutes to load this up, especially for the first time. So just be patient and it will load. Okay, now that the launcher is finally done loading, I'm going to go in here and configure the server. So now you do have to allow access through the firewall in order for your server to work. And we'll go ahead and click on Add Server. And now the way that we get the server address here is we go over here to Google, where you looked up what is my IP address, and you just take this address and you pair it with your Minecraft port. So you go ahead and copy that, go back in here, and you would paste it. Now this is for people that would be connecting to your server from outside of your network. So if it was your friend down the block or across the world, this would be the address and the port that you would give them, and they'd be able to connect to your Minecraft server. Now if it's someone inside of your house that needs to connect to the server, then you would actually be using the IP address that you got earlier from ipconfig, which is right here. So this is your address of the computer that the server is hosted on. You just go ahead and grab this and copy it, and then we go back in here and we'll paste that into the server box along with a colon and the port for your Minecraft server. Now if you're going to be connecting from the server that you're on, so you're actually playing on the server, you want to connect to that server from the same computer, you use your local loopback address 127.0.0.1, and that will actually get you connected locally to the same server. So if you're playing on the server, you would use this address. Click done, and here's your server, and you'll click join server. Okay, once you're finally in the server, there's a couple things you're going to want to do. Like one thing that you probably want to do is give yourself operator privileges, and so you type in OP and then the name of your character or the character you want to give privilege to. And now what this does is this allows you to be able to control things inside of the game. Like if you want to set your game mode to creative, you could do that. You can also set the time of set it to daytime. And last thing I would also do is I would set a game rule to keep inventory, because there are a lot of very hard mobs in this game and you're gonna get slayed by a mob, and you don't want to lose all of your hard earned inventory, all the stuff you've been collecting You don't want to lose that. You want to be able to keep that, especially if you're playing in survival. The next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up the controls. Now, there's a lot of mod packs in this game, so the controls are just a mess. What we do is we click on Show Conflicts, and we're going to go click on each one of these and click the Escape button, and that will set them to none. We do this for every single one of these. And then we'll go back and we'll configure the ones that we want to use. Okay, now we click Show Conflicts again, go back up to the top, and we'll go down, and then we can go ahead and set up the controls, some of the controls we're going to be using. So for example here, going to be for journey map, I like to set zoom in to add or plus, zoom out to subtract or minus, and for legends we'll just go ahead and reset all of the keys for legends, and this is your superhero characters, so then you can use your powers. And that's about it for now. Click on done and done. Back to game. Now if you see the way that the game looks right now, it already looks very cool because it's just it's a super cool version of Minecraft. But to make it look even better, we're going to go ahead and add this resource pack, Dragon Dance. Now this does take a bit to load because it does a lot of changes. It's going to be changing not just the way that the menu looks, but also changes all of the blocks, and it just makes Minecraft a whole lot brighter even at night. And in just a moment here you're going to see. So here we go, back to game, and you could see the difference. I mean, it makes it look incredible. All right, and just to give you an idea of what these keys do that we just set up, let's go ahead and go over to the Legends mod. You have a lot of wild animals out there. Grab a Superman suit, and we'll go ahead and put this on. Okay, now you can see on the left hand side we have heat vision, freeze breath, super breath, telescopic vision, ground pound, heightened perception, x-ray vision, and solar flare. So and it shows all the keys that you need to use for that. So for example, we'll just use our heat vision. Oh yeah, heat vision is awesome. And we can use our freeze. It didn't do much there. You actually have to freeze something. Let's see if it's something free to freeze here. There we go. Turns it into ice cubes. Then you have your what is this? Your telescopic vision, so you can see everything that you've done. You froze her. You can kind of zoom into everything. It's really cool. And you also have super breath, so you can actually blast things with your breath. Pretty cool. And now since this is Superman, obviously he's really fast. Like super fast. Yeah, you can run around. It's just crazy. Very, very cool. I just love these laser vision. I mean, that's just incredible. I love laser vision. Hey guys, I'm over here. What, you can't see me? Can you see me now? Yeah, that's awesome. I like that. And then freeze. Where's freeze? Who can I freeze? What is that? I don't know what that was, but we just got it. Anyhow, so that's just a little bit of what the game is. So we went and set up the Crazy Craft 4 server. We also set up the Void launcher and just kind of went through the controls and stuff. So last thing that we're going to be doing is that once you're finally done playing, you're ready to disconnect for the day, we just go ahead and disconnect here. Just go ahead and minimize this down. Instead of pressing the X here, you want to go ahead and type in stop. And this will just close down the server very nicely. There we go. Very cleanly. You definitely don't want to ruin the server that you just finished setting up. So anyhow, that's about it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it and learned how to set up the server and the launcher. So please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell button so you'll never miss out on another video on Epic Game World. See you next time.